Do you ever feel out of sync with the market? Are you constantly guessing? Do you have trouble identifying the next big move? Join me and 7 other Elliott Wave and Fibonacci experts on Tuesday, February 13th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. I'll be presenting at 11 a.m. New York time. I'll be focusing this presentation on Euro-dollar, and if I have time I might also cover Bitcoin's Elliott Wave analysis. So click below to register now. Do not miss this event. At the end of the event, all attendees will get links to access special offers from each presenter, but you have to be registered to access these offers. So click below and register now. Hello everybody, this is Lara with your Monday to Friday update for Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP. It looks like Bitcoin might possibly be closing above this neckline, but we need to wait for this current candlestick, the 7th of February, to be properly closed before we can have confidence that price is closed above this neckline. If it does close above that pink line, then the target from the little head and shoulders pattern is 49,362. We might find a bit of resistance about 44,700, but I expect next time it gets up there it may well break through, but definitely look for some resistance along the way up about 48,000. A little bit of volume pushing price higher so far for the 6th of February. We don't have volume for the 7th yet. Good to see a little bit of volume returning to the market, although overall it is really weak in recent weeks. On balance volume is getting really close to that resistance line. If we have another upward session tomorrow, it could give us a bullish signal. ADX is now nicely below 15, setting itself up for a clear signal. We don't have that yet at the moment. It's telling us there's no clear trend. RSI is neutral, money flow is still neutral, and ATR is still declining. There is weakness in volume and range up off this low. That's pretty normal behavior for the early stage of a new bullish run for a cryptocurrency though. My main Elliott Wave count for Ethereum expects that it's in the early stages of a third wave at multiple degrees. Minuet, minute, minor is within intermediate, primary and cycle. And I expect any pullbacks along the way up to find support at the lower edge of this channel. It's been working really well recently. We might see some resistance again next time price gets to the upper edge of the channel. May see a pullback and then we might see a breakthrough. If we do see a breakthrough, look out for a back test of support before price moves up and away. Targets for minute 3 and minor 3 are reasonably conservative. 11.09 is an extreme Fibonacci ratio for a normal market, but not that extreme for a cryptocurrency. So my ballpark figure for where minute 3 might end would be 11,868, minor 3, 13,325. The idea is as we get toward the end of a third wave, I'm going to use increasingly lower degrees to try and narrow in on the highest probability target I can for us. I can't do it for minute 3 at any more than minute degree at this stage. When I have minuet 3 and 4 complete, I'll add minuet degree to the target calculation. I hope that makes sense. This Elliott Wave count was an alternate and it's now invalidated, so a new high above 2455.87 today by any amount, any time frame, has invalidated this idea and added confidence in the main Elliott Wave count. That's because 4 may not move into 1 price territory, so I'm deleting this wave count, and it's been somewhat useful in helping us have confidence in the main wave count. Today, price is closed above what, or looks so far, it might be closing above what was resistance at 2,400. When this session is complete, if it has closed above that area, then resistance turns to support, and I'll relabel that, but I'll leave it as is now because this session for the 7th of February is not complete yet. We've still got a little while to go. Look out for next resistance about 3,580. We may see a little bit of a bounce up and then a back test of support about 2,400 before price moves up and away. That's pretty typical price behavior around resistance and support. Volume was pushing price higher for the 5th of February. For the 6th of February, volume was a lot lighter. I don't have any volume data yet for the 7th of February. On balance, volume is within a technically very weak range, no signal. ADX is just now below 15. It's going to be setting itself up for a really strong signal. RSI is neutral, as is money flow. My 3 Elliott Wave counts for XRP. This is the first. I don't think it has a very good probability. It expects a deep pullback to continue between 0.40954 and 0.34447 to see intermediate 2 a more normal 80 to 90% depth of intermediate wave 1. If we see a new high above 0.6236, this wave count will be invalid because micro 2 may not move beyond the start of micro 1 above that price point. Second idea considers that intermediate 2 is incomplete, but it's going to complete more quickly and not be as deep as the first idea, for minus C to move below the end of A at 0.4456 to avoid a truncation, but the structure of minus C is an ending contracting diagonal, and it would require a huge overshoot of the 1-3 trend line for minus C to move below this price point and avoid a truncation, and the diagonal wouldn't look right. It's normal for a fifth wave to have a little overshoot of the 1-3 trend line, but not such a large overshoot as this would require. Which leads me to the third wave count, which I think actually has the best probability. What if intermediate 2 was over here as a zigzag and the intermediate 3 begins, and from this low to this high another impulse, and this high to this low a double zigzag could be complete down here. So far this wave count remains valid. It'll be invalidated if minor 2 moves beyond the start of minor 1 below 0.4456. Real quick technicals for XRP today. We've still got this cluster of 6 hammer candlestick patterns, and now we've got a bullish candlestick completing for the 7th of February. I'm not going to name this a bullish engulfing because it's not at the low. These hammers are at the low. These aren't at lows either, but I am going to consider that they are now a cluster of candlestick patterns. So support holding at 0.4875. Look for resistance along the way up now at 0.54. I expect these lows down here are likely to be sustained for the long term. A little bit of a push from volume. Volume for the last several sessions is now stronger than the interspersed downward sessions within it, so very slightly developing a little bit of a bullish look on the volume profile, but overall as price is moving sideways, volume is declining, and the strongest most recent sessions were downward sessions, particularly this one here of the 3rd of January. So overall the volume profile is bearish. We could be starting to see a shift to slightly more bullish this week and last week. On balance, volume is still within a range. I've slightly adjusted this resistance line. We could move it a little bit lower here. No, I think it's best to put it up here. You've got to be a bit flexible with these support and resistance lines. So no signal from on balance volume for XRP today. ADX is declining. There's no clear trend. It's no longer indicating a downward trend, and the downward trend did reach extreme. RSI reached really close to oversold. It's nicely neutral. Money flow got somewhat close to oversold. It's still neutral. And range and volatility for all three of these is still declining. Volume's weak, range is weak, interest is just dying out. It's a bit of a conflict, really, isn't it? When prices are low, no one's interested, and that's exactly when you should be buying. And when prices are high, everyone gets on board, and a lot of people buy when prices are high, and that's exactly when you should be selling. So it's a little bit frustrating, really, that the interest in this analysis is relatively low right when people should really be getting on board. And I think that when prices get really high, people are going to be asking me, how do I get in at a good price? I'm going to be like, well, you missed that boat, sorry guys. And now it's when you should be selling. And either way, I'll be told that I'm absolutely wrong. I'm told when prices are low that it's just going to keep going down, and I don't know what I'm doing. And when prices are high and I tell you all I'm going to be selling, there'll be a lot of people who tell me I'm crazy and I'm missing out on further profits. But okay, I think I would rather buy low and sell high and make money than listen to the crowd. How about that? Thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk, and I hope everyone's having a lovely day.